Hello and welcome back once again to the ESL Pro League Finals desk. I'm Alex Machine Richardson, joined by Vendetta and Devil Walk once again to break down what we're about to witness. Dignitas and NaVi are going to be coming in to battle head to head. And it's going to be great to see what these players are feeling, what's going through their heads right now. Before we even dig into what we're expecting to see, both with maps and with performances, let's see what the individuals on stage have to say. I think we have Pimp and Guardian standing by with Sean.
Thank you so much, Machine. Guardian, how's your day going, buddy?
It went pretty well. We won against Virtus Pro, so yeah, it was great at the moment.
Now, you're no stranger to Dignitas. How did you prepare for this?
Well, we didn't even talk about the game, so we just have to play our A game, at least as good as against Virtus Pro, and show that we are a better team, I guess.
Now, you mentioned that as good as Virtus Pro. Is that energy, that momentum that you take from Virtus Pro, is it something that you'll be pushing into this? Does that play into it?
Yes, I would say yes.
And the rest of the guys all, let's say, put the previous meeting with Dignitas behind them, or is that something a learning exercise?
It was the learning exercise, so yeah, we will see.
Well, we wish you the best of luck. Join your team. Thank you, mate. And of course, if we'll ask very nicely, perhaps Pimp will join us here. Pimp, sir, how are you doing?
I'm doing just fine.
Now, same goes for you. Obviously, you guys have met each other before. You've also come very close against TSM. What thoughts are going through your mind coming into this now?
Well, yesterday we should have won, I believe. We played really great against TSM, and I think the last map was ours, but we didn't manage to win and close the game out, so here we are. And yeah, as you said, we won over NaVi yesterday too, so we feel comfortable, but it's always hard to face the same opponent twice when you beat them once. They probably have been home and watched the game and kind of look what they did wrong, and we cannot do the same because we actually won, not in the same way at least, so it's always hard. So it'll probably be close and entertaining game like it was yesterday.
Now, you touched on it, obviously, that TSM, it was really close. A lot of people said that you did, deserve to win, that it really was down there. What do you guys do after something like that? I mean, how do you kind of turn yourself around? Because it's got to be, a bit of a blow. You've come so close, and then, to be back here today then.
Yeah, we just went home to the hotel and relaxed and got something to eat. It was really devastating. It is TSM. It is a team from the same nation as us, so we would like to beat them, of course, and gone through. Now we're facing NaVi and can possibly go out. So there's a big difference between winning and losing yesterday. So of course we were not happy, but we just try to relax and like get into ourselves again and just try to focus on this game that we now have to win.
Well, we hope you do the best of jobs. Thank you so much, Pimp. Please join you guys, get warmed up. Some good and very open answers there from both guys, which I'm sure that you'll have words to say on, Machine.
Yeah, well, I mean, Pimp made it very clear that they were disappointed with their result against TSM, but it's in the past, and TSM already secured that spot alongside Envious in the semi-finals, which will be played Sunday, which is tomorrow. Actually, is a lot easier way of saying it, and so you guys make sure you're there for that. But before, we need to find out who else is going to be there. Another two teams yet to be determined, and this game is one of them. Dignitas going to be really looking to redeem themselves after they're not necessarily a poor performance, but just that not lacking that last push that they perhaps need. And to start this one off, guys, I'm going to have to talk about MSL. That's it's a name that kind of comes up occasionally, and I feel like every time Dignitas is mentioned, you can see on the lineup there, he's been this kind of new presence in the team, and he seems to be keeping the side very calm, very cool. And is that a big new presence for Dignitas? Is that something they lacked beforehand, Halvor?
I don't think they lacked it because of their previous team leader was Fetish. So they definitely had that structure around them, or at least that's what Fetish used to bring to teams. I'm guessing seeing how he's not in teams anymore, that might have gone away, but they've definitely gotten used to playing with MSL rather quickly, which is a really good sign for Dignitas. They had an excellent Copenhagen games, and they're continuing that good form coming here with beating NaVi and then nearly taking down TSM as well. So MSL has really had a massive impact on how this team plays, and you can actually see that players that we're used to seeing before actually getting into things. Pimp is just playing on a very high level, just being very stable. Nico's getting better and better as time goes, and well, Kiabi, he just keeps surprising everyone with how good he is at that young of an age. And AZ is already we've seen him in the old TSM lineup when they were Dignitas themselves. We know what he can do as well. So it's just a really fun team to watch and see how fast they're actually growing, because they're taking massive steps each and every month.
It does seem to be the case. And Jonathan, what about you? The fact that these guys have played before, Dignitas and NaVi, of course, meeting just yesterday, and with Dignitas besting them, like, I don't know who that favors more or less. Like, knowing you've beaten them already, or knowing you've been defeated before, but then it's like battling to redeem yourself, or, you know, if you start losing as Dignitas, you're like, we've done this before, why is this happening? Who does this favor?
I actually think it's heavily favoring NaVi, because they can actually change their game plan up. And I mean, there's no reason for Dignitas to change their, like, theoretically change their game plan up, because it was working. But this gives like NaVi a huge like advantage with actually being able to read their play, not being caught off guard by things. And it's also, I think, for most teams, like a huge motivation boost, because you don't want to be beaten twice. Like, you're going to be super pumped for this game. And usually, you know, if you think you're the better team, you're going to be like, you know, you're not super pumped in for a game. Like, you always want to win. But I think they're going to be on, like, yeah, just high adrenaline, and you just want to be, they're super psyched for this game and getting revenge.
Yeah, and one of the things that I think might have a big impact due to the results we saw yesterday is what maps are going to be played. Not really, I can't say that I know what maps Dignitas banned out the first time around, but obviously they left Mirage in. Mirage looked great for NaVi then, looked great today. I think that map's going to be gone. So that's already one of the advantages that NaVi could possibly rely on, that's gone for them. So even though I completely agree that NaVi do have the upper hand because they have the most they can learn from yesterday's game, it could still end up in a situation where NaVi decide to not take full advantage of that and actually veto out some of the maps that Dignitas won. So sure, you could have potentially known what to change, but you're going in completely blank if you swap out all three maps. So that is a possibility that we have to consider, and I'm actually pretty excited about the veto and how that's going to turn out, because I think we're going to see actually quite a few changes.
One change I think we're kind of gambling on not seeing is the fact that nuke being taken away from one side. I think it's NaVi who've kind of been struggling with that map, and it's almost a guarantee. I think we even YNK came to the desk and he was just talking about his feelings about nuke, and he quite literally said, "Oh, it's okay. It's NaVi. I don't have to observe nuke." It was
he loves NaVi because he doesn't have to observe nuke, which is like with the observing, like on the minimap you cannot see if they're on the lower side or the upper side.
Yeah.
So it makes it very, very hard to actually observe that map. So.
You can feel that.
I know the feeling all too well, which is why NaVi is one of my favorite teams as well.
So there's a bias for observers who just love NaVi because of their preferences.
No, Fnatic as well. The one thing that makes it easier to have NaVi games than Fnatic is because NaVi plays so slowly. So it's like
lovely.
You can see where things are happening exactly. Well, Fnatic trying to follow what JW is doing at times is just.
I bet it's not easy. Either way, NaVi are on your screens now. We've highlighted a lot of the individuals from Dignitas. Let's talk about the other side. We have Zeus at the helm, Edward, who's been actually having a really strong game, a strong tournament, I think it's actually safe to say. He's been kind of ramping up slowly, and his performance against Virtus Pro was incredible. Any individuals that you feel like we haven't seen the best of yet?
I think Cease has probably been a bit lackluster. He used to be like the main star of the NaVi lineup, and he's actually been struggling a bit with when the new players. I'm guessing it's something with swapping positions, like getting new roles, etc. Because he used to be the like lurking main star.
When he joined NaVi, he was pretty much the hot shot, the new star that came into that lineup, and just gradually dipped. He did have a really good Katowice tournament. And that was really nice to see, but he still hasn't found that consistency level that we'd like to see from him and what NaVi needs from him as well. But he can actually be excused to have a bit of a dipping performance if players like Edward and Flamey all of a sudden drop 25 each. That's okay. Like they'll take care of the heavy lifting. Exactly. So that I guess that could be something that reassures him as well. So it's easy for him to relax.
We have the veto process here, and no surprise.
Nuke is gone. And I think if there's one map we're going to see twice, it's going to be Inferno, because NaVi played an excellent Inferno versus Virtus Pro earlier today.
Now, the fact that we saw Cobble as well before, we saw 16-11 in favor of Dignitas before. I mean,
And actually, again, Dignitas opt to not change out. Okay, well, we're actually looking at the same maps as yesterday.
is it going to be a complete repeat?
If Inferno is the last map, then that's absolutely going to be a repeat of every
And
single map.
that's going to be so interesting if it does happen, because we can quite literally see what one day, like nothing. In fact, earlier in this tournament it was played. It's going to be a complete carbon copy of that map pool that we saw before. Let's not forget though, if we do cast our minds back, those previous results, for those of you that didn't manage to catch the games yesterday, let's get this right. 16-12 in favor of Dignitas on Inferno, 16-2 in favor of NaVi on Mirage, and then 16-11 for Dignitas on Cobble.
And I'm actually really surprised that we see the same maps. I guess, sure, lack of preparation time, that could definitely be a possibility, but how bad can you be at Overpass if you let a map you lost 16-2 on go through?
And I mean, I see a very different opinion on your face, Devilwalk. You feel like this actually favors NaVi even more so now with the same pool?
I think,
But
I mean, if they are actually, like, if they, it's based on, like, if they talk after the game and, like, actually pinpointed what the reasons were. Did they take bad individual decisions just because they thought they were so much better than the other guys? Like, you have to pinpoint these problems, and if that's the case, then I see no reason why not to pick up the same maps and just highlight, okay, let's be a bit smarter about what we're doing. Like, these are not like bad players. We know what they're capable of now, and let's just bring our A game like we did against Virtus Pro, basically.
And the pressure, of course, on the shoulders of Dignitas. Map 1, though, will be Mirage. So let's start addressing that, breaking that down a little bit more. As we have, I feel like we've analysed NaVi's play on Mirage quite a bit, and they have a very kind of easy to replicate style of NaVi. You expect to see a very particular style with NaVi. Let's talk a little bit more about Dignitas, considering that they were bested 16-2 last time these guys met on Mirage, as the first map as well. I mean, as for them, this is like their chance to do the upset, to basically, you know, be like, wow, we've beaten them on the other two maps and we've just beaten them on Mirage. That's a big confidence booster. And what do you think what steps can Dignitas take to shut NaVi down on this map?
I mean, I think it comes down to basically maybe starting on the CT side and actually picking up a lot of rounds and...
Sorry, nice and quickly though, so we can get you both of you in.
Yeah,
Yeah, getting off to a good start on the CT side and taking it from there, basically not allowing NaVi to get a proper economy going. Really.
So
nice
shut down NaVi's economy and lock down the key individuals.
Just win the game.
Win the game. Well,
Easy.
top analysis from us here at the ESL Pro League desk. It was a fist bump you missed, but some top analysis from Vendetta and Devilwalk. Either way, though, it is game time and it's time for your casters. It's D-Man and Semler. It's Demler.
I got it. Okay, he's ready, guys. Demler is back in action.
Hey, no, I'm not ready. What is this business?
Yeah, get yourself up. I mean, if you just seen the photos from Kenny, yes, you'll know that this map is asleep, not 30 minutes
a bit of a
ago.
nap. And I managed to make it back down again. Okay.
Get yourself comfy, It's good to move. Okay, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. So, NaVi versus Dignitas. Now, this is a game that actually happened yesterday while we were in here casting the opposite side. That happened in the studio next door, but turned out, obviously, 2-1 in favour of Dignitas, which is why they faced TSM. Now, we just heard from Pimp a moment ago talking about how he really wasn't very happy. And, of course, they weren't happy with losing to TSM, but more importantly, how they discussed it. And he seemed really quite clear, and, you know, that they've resolved their problems. And, okay, they seem a real clear team in how they approach a loss, basically, which is somewhat unusual because sometimes, often, you'll see the teams that just... They take a loss quite badly and then go on tilt. But they seem to have picked themselves back up. Now, they're coming into this one after already beating NaVi. This is something that Alex alluded to on the desk. It's talking about who does it favour, who works out. Now, we're on the exact same map, Paul. This time around, though, it is going to be Mirage as the first map. Yesterday, it was Cobblestone. But Mirage, we've already seen NaVi. They destroyed Virtus Pro on it this morning. They destroyed Dignitas on it yesterday. They are really good on it. Why would you not ban it?
Yeah, that's the, well, we were talking about it. There's like several options going into how, like, where it would go. I was actually surprised that, you know, Cash was left in the pool, or no, Cash was removed in the second ban wave, but I thought that NaVi would remove that first. The fact that they left Cobble in there as well. I mean, it just feels like a minefield whenever you get it, whenever you come into these bans when you're talking about NaVi. Dignitas feel like a bit more of a flexible team right now. Like, they have more experience on all maps, and they haven't necessarily like said we're not going to actually work on any of these. So I feel like they have the edge coming into it. Now it's the mental edge if they're going to be able to come back after that beating. As you say, after having talked it over, what happened versus TSM, it's a domestic match. So they really can't, I don't think that they can hit the...
And it was a very close match. I mean, it without Cadian's knife, it could have easily been an overtime and go either way.
So many rounds where it could have easily gone to overtime exactly, or it could have gone either other way. But the thing is, they know they're the underdogs, and they know that they came close to dethroning the top team, and that's only going to make them hungrier. Players like Pimp and like MSL, they have Nico in particular, after his reputation, they have so much to prove that they are going to be able to just sit down, discuss it, and
he's a player that's actually stepped up. Nico really did step up yesterday. He's really turned well. And there's actually a number of players across both teams. And, you know, we've been talking about how Guardians really stepped up. But Edward there on the left of your screen there, how he suddenly picked up the AWP, and he's suddenly playing great. And then, you know, we were talking about C's the man that performed brilliantly in Katowice. Suddenly he's like the support guy. It's a weird dynamic for NaVi, but it's working.
Oh, it's working very well. Well, I mean, hell, if you have Edward start to wake up and deliver quad kills regularly with the rifle, you're starting to feel pretty good.
Or just return the favor with an ace.
Yeah, we just need to, what we need to do now is get Edward, you know, like somehow he needs to find his power back with the pistols, because, you know, that's the legend right there. It's, you know, you can find so many frag reels of him throughout 1.6 where he's just taking heads off left and right with USPs. And you see that glimmer sometimes in CSGO where he'll come into a round and he'll just start tapping people one-shots, and you're just like, whoa, is it really happening? I think this is almost like the closest we've seen Edward really come to that kind of performance where he just imposes his will, and the other team can't really do anything to stop him. The man I want to keep an eye on, however, young man, I guess, is Kirby. Because Kirby on Dignitas,
16-year-old boy,
dude, monster. He is like the next gen. He's like the swag in the States. He's coming up. He's having a big impact against some of the best players in the world, and people are starting to give him a lot of respect. A lot of teams are keeping their eyes on him because he is scary, legitimately scary.
And then, like, if you looked at his role on yesterday on Cash and Mirage, actually, he's the guy that was left alone. Like, the whole Dignitas team would go off, maybe up to B apartments, maybe even mid, but he'd be the man that'd be lurking either at ramp or palace, and he'd be the one that would try and get around the backside, almost doing the get right lurky role. But it worked out for him, and you know, they have so much confidence in this young guy to just go off and go solo.
And that's the good thing. You bring it up, that, you know, the confidence that they had in him, the confidence rather that they have in him. It's just I think that a lot of people are just really impressed by his ability to keep his cool under pressure. In these kinds of situations where, you know, you would expect a veteran player, and you bring up Get Right, you know, you expect a veteran player to really just excel and make the right call and then land the shots when he needs to. Kirby has shown time and time again that he's actually capable of that, and he's only 16. So it's just this mad fragger that you could potentially have growing here on the Dignitas lineup. And then you have, you know, experienced players to help develop them, like MSL, like Nico. I mean, even like Pimp now, because Pimp has been quite around for a while now. So it's just a really sick lineup that we see developing here. The second team in Denmark, basically, who are really starting to take big steps.
Talk about someone that sorted themselves out. Pimp. I was just talking to Anders before this. It's like, damn, that guy's lost a lot of weight.
Yeah, man, that's like a Semphis story right there, right? Like, you do that double take where the first time I saw Semphis after he had lost like the weight and he'd shaved the beard and everything, I was just like, this totally new Semphis. I was like, what? And you have a bit of that with Pimp too. So I mean, it is cool to see, you know, like this change in image, this focus more, you know, on truly developing themselves into, you know, professionals. Like, they eat healthy now, they try and work out, they do all these things, and then they're still focusing on CS to just improve day to day.
And we'll see how it works out for them at the moment. We are just waiting for the players to warm up. You see NaVi have taken to their seats. It is Dignitas versus NaVi, and this is the second time they will face themselves here at the ESL Pro League in this best-of-3 situation. Dignitas with the team that came out ahead. That was 2-1. That was yesterday. Today is another day. And we talk about momentum in these games, but momentum is completely lost when the match is over. And we'll see whether NaVi have managed to reset themselves. Knife round coming out. Of course, both teams will be aiming to come out on top to get that CT side, but we've already seen, as we just saw some wild nuke play, that it's not always as it seems, and sometimes the T side can come out on top.
Right? You start to see these teams. It's almost like it is the momentum, as you say. Though, you know, it's over when it's the end of the best of 3. But if you can get those first key rounds and start that ball rolling for you, if it doesn't turn into a slugfest at the beginning, right? Anything is possible. If it's not this back and forth trading rounds, anything can happen. You can always run it back. And that's like the nip magic, right? We'll do the air quotes, you know, like the nip magic, right? You know, the one team that always seems to be able to eke out the win, even if they're behind on T side. So, you know, we're seeing a bit more of that in this tournament. But right now, we have a bit of a slow pace. You know, they're trying to abuse the choke right there.
Tactical knife round.
Yeah, tactical, you know, knife strats. Richard Lewis is like rolling over right now. I'm not going to say in his grave because he's not, you know, in his bed.
Yet. Just don't write him off.
But there we go. NaVi will pick it up. So they'll be starting on the CT side. Or are we going to have the mind games? No, okay. It is going to be the CT side start. So they did the best they could, but they could, I mean, 2v4 like that, not a whole lot you can do.
So Dignitas started off well on the T side against TSM yesterday on Mirage, so we'll see if they can maybe do it again. But unfortunately for them, Nico was losing the battle while he did great on Cash, great on, I forget what the other map was, as the AWPer. When he got to the T side on Mirage, he actually was kind of losing out to Carrigan. But then again, Carrigan went huge. He got 32 kills in that game, so it's kind of hard to compare with. But he is going to be up against Guardian in this game, and Guardian himself has stepped up massively in this tournament over the last few months, in fact.
Exactly. That Guardian, I mean, just today when we saw them play on this map, Guardian was the man. It was basically just set up this brick wall. You know how they were doing joke maps about, you know, April Fools, you know, hey, we just made changes to Nuke and we made walls everywhere so you can't get onto the sites. That's what happened with mid. Guardian was just like, I'm going to put a brick wall here and you guys aren't going to come into it because otherwise I'm just going to tear you limb from limb. That's what Guardian was doing. So we have to see now if Nico's going to be able to go toe-to-toe with him. But speak of the devil, Guardian, first headshot of the round. He's taken out Kirby, and Zeus has already taken out AC, and they are just getting picked apart here, Dignitas.
Well, they got themselves onto A site, but there is just one man remaining. It's Nico. It's an impossible task as they come pouring around, and Flamey will take him down. They did get the bomb plant in, but the defuse will be quick to follow, and NaVi take themselves a clean round in the first one, and let's see if it's the first of many.
Yeah, that's the story now. What's really going to be frustrating here is options might be a little limited for Dignitas because they didn't get any kills. So they're going to be a little strapped for cash. So, yeah, okay. So they're just going to go like, okay, smoke, maybe a couple of flashes, and might just kind of YOLO onto a site somewhere. So hope that they can get another bomb plant so they can get some bonus money going for themselves going into that next round. Because it seems like they are shaping up for a third round bye.
It's what's become almost a standard smoke in the mid. Guardian going to try and pull a couple of shots through, but Edward already got himself the M4 as a seized, and the frags already landing in there. Edward will rattle himself off, gets 2 just at the end. Can he make it a 4th? Yes, he can. And well, we talked about him at the start. He's already got himself rolling 4K in the second round. Nicely done.
Yeah, what control. And it's at the end of the clip as well with the last bullets left in that bag. He actually gets those 2 kills, double headshot as well. So they got to be. That's a little frustrating for Dignitas, no doubt about it. But here we go. After all the money, they do actually have money for the AKs. They have everything that they need here. Decent number of smokes. Everybody has a smoke, in fact. So Dignitas have some options. And what are they doing? They go for the straight up A smoke strat. And they don't look like they want to waste any time here. They're already set up just at the beginning, not even letting a man lurk in mid or anything at all. They just want to catch NaVi off guard with the speed of this push.
Zeus's molly is going to slow them down. They're going to have to push on through that one. They got one in dark as well. Guardian's been smoked off in connector. Dignitas are in sight, but they haven't noticed. Look at Flamey. Flamey in the back there. He will try and cause the damage. Zeus gets 2 down. Bomb plant still coming in, but Flamey's still unnoticed. Hiding in the background with the FAMAS, ready to pounce.
And there we go. Already the trade frags beginning here. MSL does manage to take out Flamey, so they caught the lurker. Now it's all about holding these lines, but Seas steps in, takes out MSL. They didn't actually manage to get the bomb plant before the smoke cleared, and that's the real problem there. NaVi able to deny that bomb plant, despite great smokes going down. Just the fact that Flamey was kind of in an anti-smoke position. The smokes ended up actually kind of working against Dignitas. They went for the variation where you cut up the site instead of cutting off jungle, etc. And that just did not pan out, where Flamey was in the perfect spot, basically, to deny a safe plant.
Yeah, I didn't actually catch where Zeus was, because I didn't see he picked up those 2 opening frags, and that's slowed them down, yeah. I know his Flamey was, I think it was in shadow. That's why I was wondering where he was pulling the shots from. Oh, there he is. He's on stairs this time, so he may well have been in the same position last time. They are running straight in towards him. He's going to pop out, gets 1, doesn't quite get the second. Switches to the USP. He's got Guardian in support. He will get himself another. And, well, it's a simple cleanup in the end. 2 frags apiece for those, and now 4-0 as NaVi start the ball a-rolling, but Now we see Nico picking up the AWP. Let's see what he can do with it, because he's gone glass cannon. He's got no armor.
Yeah, they're still kind of limited as far as the funds are concerned right now. This is where all the pressure basically settles on Dignitas, because they need to have an impact in this round. They cannot let NaVi get out of control. You have some guys who are already pushing 10,000 on NaVi's side, so that's a real problem for Dignitas. They need to get, if not the round, at least kill 4 people on NaVi, make them spend some of that money so they can keep things close. Because we saw what NaVi are capable of when they're all sitting on 10K.
Oh, such a risk. They push through the smoke. AZ does get the opening frag, but he's quickly dropped straight where he stands. Kirby does manage to get him through. Guardian, though, quickly gets a flick straight on towards the top of Palace. Edward back into stairs. The rotation already came because this has been a slow push from Dignitas. Trying to rattle it through. Caesar's got around the backside of him. Not even looking his direction. Will manage to find one. It's going to be no. MSL comes out on top in that duel, and Guardian suddenly finds himself all alone in connector. And what could have been a great round for NaVi has suddenly turned into somehow a 3-on-1 for Dignitas.
It's turned into a total slugfest. Team Dignitas, this is what I'm talking about. They imposed their will on NaVi. They said, we're not going to plant the bomb because we don't have control. Instead, we're just going to come and cave your skulls in. There we go. MSL with the last kill on Guardian, who was an impossible situation, was trying to go into the Triangle of Doom. That just wasn't going to happen for him. And Team Dignitas, they play that just down pat. Bit of the scrimmy play at the beginning by sneaking through the smoke like that. That certainly caught NaVi off guard. And then they just never let up the pressure. They never allowed NaVi to reset. It was just take these shots, take these battles, and win out. They did just that.
The speed of that flick shot from Guardian is scary, how quick these guys can move.
Guardian is one of the best. He is probably the fastest opera in the world.
As was just pointed out by the Observer and yourself earlier on, they have 10Ks. Who's with the auto sniper? Just gets a 4K. No, Flamey stole it just at the end there, but I think we'll let him off there. That's exactly what we were terrified for. The fact that they'd got 10K built up, they got all the money, they could just rebuy straight in there, and they just came straight out of ramp into the crosshairs.
And that is one of the most powerful positions you can hold on any map with a Scar 20. That's just like up in B halls, you can use it there as well. You've seen players do it in the past, but that from CT or just behind the triple stack to A pit, that's just ridiculous. That long line, they have to run right into the blender. Without it, they tried to do it again as well. They tried to get a fast one on Zeus, but he just had none of it. And now Pimp, what can he do? 1v5, he's gonna walk right up here, take the battle with Flamey, but Flamey just beats him down. And so, talk about worst case scenarios, this is pretty close to it for Dignitas. Not having any impact at all, not getting any kills on NaVi, and just getting completely demolished without a bomb plant. It just resets all of that momentum that we keep talking about. It just resets it completely here for Dignitas.
11 kills on the board for Zeus. He's certainly enjoying himself with that Scar 20 now, let's put it that way. And, well, Team Dignitas, they don't want any of it. They're going to challenge Guardian instead. They're going to run headlong into him. Not sure this is exactly the angle they should take. Edward does pop out. He gets himself a double as 2 make the way up short. And look at this, the rest of NaVi just collapsing around them. They know where the last man is. Guardian's been taken down. AZ has rescued the AWP, but C's will collapse on towards him. And now 6-1 to NaVi. They've started off with a scary pace, honestly, about them. And Dignitas' speed rounds, I feel he's just actually playing it in NaVi's favor. They're just like, this is great.
Yeah.
Just keep on them rounds ticking.
Yeah, I mean, thanks, to YNK or Kassad, whoever's observing right now, thanks for pointing that out. The fact that, the frags really are missing right now in Dignitas. They just have not had, like, any kind of break at all. And look, they're now countering where Guardian is setting up with the triple nade. Just commit the nades, force them out, get control of mid, and this is the battle that needs to happen. They've now managed to remove Guardian from that position, and that means a lot now for Dignitas. It actually gives them some options going forward here. You can see already Edward he's already changed up his position, but he may work his way back into ladder room here. And to check this corner, Nico had to win that duel and he doesn't get it.
Kirby also, he tried to get around the backside. He's gone into Palace, but he got smoked off. He was the man that was trying to lurk. He was the man that was trying to get around the back of Zeus there, who was rattling that Scar 20 off down in the connector. But instead, Dignitas on the rotate. Kirby is still trying to catch up with them. And it is going to be a B push. Seized actually up in short. Nobody else on site right now, so does go looking, finds AZ on short, but just got a glimpse of them in apartments.
They need to make it out of here. Great shot by MSL, just as C's peeks out, and Zeus now holding the back line. He's got that Scar 20, but Team Dignitas, all they have to do is sit and wait. They don't have to peek. they play the bomb from here on out, and you can see them setting up now. 2 guys up in B apartments waiting for that flank if it does come through from underpass, and then Flamey working his way out. But MSL, again, taking matters into his own hands. He's the one leading the charge right now. He's got all the frags for Dignitas, and he just continues to deliver right now, opening things up. Guardian, however, beats Pimp, but then Zeus gets taken out. MSL continues. Triple kill for him. And now it's Guardian walking into the crossfire. Then there's no time for him to even get the bomb defused. He needs to just back off at this point and hold on to that op. 4 HP. He just barely makes it. And Kjærby and MSL actually lived through the round as well. That was important.
Big round there for MSL. That's exactly what Dignitas needed. 6-2. Get themselves that second T-side on the boards. So they have enough to get themselves a bye, just about. Spread themselves off. No nades though for AZ, just simple head armor and that AK. But it's enough. And let's see if they can't start causing some problems for NaVi. NaVi though, gone with that double AWP setup this time. Edward going for the AWP, and he's going to be peeking on short, but that's not where they're going. Look at this, a fast push on B. Underpass.
Yeah, this is just going to be lurking into mid right now. They have a bit of a crossfire going on because Nico's got control of top. So looking to see if they can't catch somebody out of position, but Guardian, he's already changed it up. He went into connector this time instead of lurking in window. Edward has an op of his own, and he lights up Nico, who was lurking at top mid. So Dignitas now, they're just getting picked apart. It's just AC alone. They're completely spread out across the map. So the impact that they can have at this point is practically nil for Dignitas. They need to start getting back together, or Kjærby needs to catch somebody out, and there you go. One of the flankers actually works out here.
And he gets one down, but that is all. So 4 on 3. Still got those double AWPs. Mid completely cuts off, and sadly, that's where the bomb is for Dignitas. So they have to try and get around the backside and try and cause some distraction, and that's what Pimp's trying. But look, Edward's already come in. That flash going to be popped in towards him. Is he going to hop up on Van, get a peek on Pimp? There's the second flash. By the time he turns around, by the time he steps out, he's going straight to Edward. Oh, Edward, just about the right angle. Kjærby's found himself a second over on the A site. And now, the bomb in play, they've managed to recover it. Dignitas are going to try and get a plant in here, and they may well get it.
They may well. I mean, they don't seem to have any idea that Zeus is lurking in pit right now, so this is big. Seized. The crossfire potential here for NaVi is actually pretty significant. Because Seized can move in, he can hold towards pit, and now they can just walk right back in. Kjærby not even turning around. Zeus is going to get a free kill here, and that weakens the defense significantly. Pimp still waiting for the push coming in, but he hears them walking through connector, and this is big. First headshot goes in, and now he manages to delay it further enough because it's going to be Seized, walking in 1v2, and now he knows he's split. Now he knows he has nowhere safe to go. AC catches him in the back as he tries to check for Pimp in mid. And that's a third round for Dignitas. They've actually succeeded in chaining rounds together.
And that was Kjærby, just opening up the A site, getting those 2 kills, just lurking around the side down. Honestly, after the opening frags, you saw Guardian and Edward hitting themselves shots in that mid. You thought, easy, bomb's loose, he's got it completely covered off. But Dignitas pulled something from nothing there, it seems, for me. NaVi, though, got themselves plenty of money still, can get themselves the buy. We'll see how it works out for them.
Yeah, and it was Kjærby to get the key frags last round. Yeah, make that difference when his team was behind, and he stepped in and got 2 key frags that opened up the A site. Just big plays coming in from the rookie. And now, Flamey completely flashed white. He has no idea what's happening. AC steps in and gets the initial frag. NaVi, hard pressed. They have to stop it close here because their money is starting to get tight. They need to connect with this round.
Guardian forced away, Zeus flashed up, they're completely smoked off. NaVi got to wait for the smokes to clear. Bomb plant does come in quick from Dignitas. Edward this time, he's got himself snuck around the back, and yet again nobody's looking that way. Why would you? You wouldn't expect Edward to have rotated quite so fast. He does get himself in position. Kjærby is there in sandwich, but Pimp is nowhere to be found. He'd gone all the way around Palace, and now he's going to come around the back. Guardian sensed it, tries to find him. Oh, he gets the long-range shot onto Seized, but he doesn't get the second chance. Zeus is going to try and find the bomb. Gets there for the kit, it should have time, seizes it. There should be a defuse for Zeus. And NaVi will get the round.
And and you wonder, why did Pimp push forward? Why did he go forward? Because it's a 1v3 situation. He just heard the smoke go down. He can only assume that Zeus is already defusing. He has to see if he can get that man off of it. So Zeus just completely clutching that for his team, even managing to find the kit before and with just enough time getting the defuse. But still hell of an effort there from Pimp. The fact that he still manages to turn that into a 1v1 at all, taking that long-range battle to CT, that's some sick rifle work coming in from him, man. He definitely had the rings on there.
Kjærby taking a grenade on ramp. He's again the sole man to get a little poke in there. The rest of the team waiting in B apartments. AZ with the bomb, just covering off any pushes in underpass. Something Edward was actually doing yesterday, so wisely reacting to a play they might try. Already they're doing better than yesterday at 7-3. We'll see if they can keep picking up more rounds, because NaVi has started off so well here. Still, not a great pickup for them. Still the double FAMAS. They have got that 1 AK, and they need to try and get used to this one for Pimp.
This is going to be such a sick little pop flash if it works. Let's see. Does he get the lineup just right? They're lurking right there. All we want is for him to pull the trigger. He's going to get it, and he's just going to be a second too late. They go running by, they turn around, and they do manage to just limit the damage to 1 frag. Although, as I say that, Guardian comes in a kitchen and takes out Nico, but they should be able to get a bomb plant out of this situation, keep Guardian back, and Pimp does just that. They've actually got a man advantage now, Dignitas.
This is from, well, I'd say in Eco, there was just 1 single AK, everybody else pistols, and this has worked out so well for them. Flamey coming in. He's got support of Zeus coming from apartments. Zeus does get down 1. He's down to a 2-on-2. Zeus gets his second. And now Kiebu all alone. And all he's got is a deagle tacked away on short. Zeus gets himself the 3rd. Brilliant play. And the defuse will come through. NaVi do manage to pull off what was a dangerous situation for them.
Yeah, and a good attempt there. I mean, really good, well played there by Zeus. The fact that he had the M4A1, they couldn't quite pick up on where they were getting shot from. Although they should have an idea, because Kirby is holding short. So the only real way that you can get shot in the back is actually from apartments. I'm surprised that they couldn't react a little bit faster, even if, okay, M4A1 silencer, right. It could be hard to peg him. But Dignitas, that is still a fantastic eco as far as they're concerned. 3 kills and a bomb plant.
I think Zeus just bought the AWP for, it was either Guardian or Edward there, and so he put himself onto a FAMAS. So, okay, a little bit of economy jiggling from NaVi, because at the end of the day, they did lose a lot of people. Dignitas, of course, they were on full eco, so they're coming in with AKs, and they're going to be running straight in. Look at Seized, this time waiting in the smoke. They're going to go face-to-face with him. Edward's just picking him up if they drop.
Oh, and they have absolutely no idea that Seized is here. He's going to ruin their day. He's in the perfect position to stop them, but then it doesn't seem like he needs to help. Edward is single-handedly taking this on. Zeus catches out Kirby, and it's just Nico left alive, but what was that, Edward? I mean, yeah, okay, Seized with the Lark, that was pretty much, I mean, there was no way that NaVi were going to lose this round.
I mean, like, that's just Seized stood in the smoke saying, yeah, Edward, they're about to drop down. No, there's another one. Yeah, there's another one. Just got past.
Metronome is like taking him out.
Yeah.
1, 2, and Edward's like, great, no problem. Edward actually been shaping up pretty well with the AWP. Like rifle, AWP, no, I just want the pistols, Edward. If you get the work done with the USP, man, get that godlike aim back.
I think Nico is just going to want to hold on to this one, doesn't want to lose out. Their money is going to be pretty tight. They did just lose out this round. They should be okay. They've lost, this is going to be the 3rd round running, isn't it? So
yeah,
we'll get a little bonus. But NaVi going to get themselves the 9th round on the board as this round ticks out. And again, looking solid on Mirage. It doesn't seem, even though, you know, we were talking yesterday, this morning, sorry, the VP, obviously, they picked Mirage. That's their home map. Yet they got spanked by NaVi on it. Are NaVi now the best team in the world on Mirage? It seems so.
It certainly seems like they've regained the throne. It's really tough to say who would be able to go toe-to-toe with them, apart from just teams that don't... No, well, okay. But like, no, teams like Envy and Fnatic, essentially.
Yeah.
Because those are the teams that are malleable, that are able to shift up. They don't even know what they're doing at the beginning of a round. They just run in and get headshots, right? You know, it's that kind of team that may be able to actually catch them off guard. But yeah, Edward, or Zeus rather, is currently rocking like a ridiculous ratio with 20 frags to, what, 3 deaths, 4 deaths. And that's 3 deaths, 4 assists as well. Like, he's everywhere. This guy is just a monster. It's actually fun because it's both of the team leads who are leading in the frags. MSL is sitting there with 8-0-10 himself.
Yeah, just dominant stuff. Grenade landing at feet of AZ, but he manages to land the shot. That's Guardian down, sight open. Are they going to push through the smoke? Edward gets a peek over stairs, doesn't manage to get anything from it. Takes a little bit of damage as well. Instead backs away, 9-3.
Do they learn from their past mistakes? Do they watch Pit now, MSL? Okay, yes, they left the man back in Pit. They left the man back in T-spawn. Well done there.
It's Kiebu that's watching, but it's Zeus again that comes out on top. Gets himself his 21st frag of the game. Smoke on towards the bomb site. Edward's going to try and go for this defuse. I think he's sticking it. He's got it. He just sticks it through the smoke. And NaVi get themselves around.
What are you going to do?
I mean, they got themselves in, they got themselves covered, and, well, Dignitas, they're going to be kicking themselves for losing that round.
They might. I mean, you got to look at the positives, though, right? You should be saying after that, you know, good eco, guys, well done. Because you still, again, did damage. You didn't save that AK, so that's a little unfortunate. You could have saved some money there. You held on to the op. I mean, there are some positives there, but that's definitely a round where they could have eked out a win. Now we actually have the 2 remaining rounds of this half, and it's imperative that Team Dignitas get something done. But, you know, I'm not meaning, you know, eat nades for breakfast. I'm meaning getting headshots. And Flamey and Zeus, they're already out of it.
That was an auto sniper, wasn't it? And I'm pretty sure Zeus had another one there, but he lost it this time. And now with the bomb down, it looks like Dignitas will finally get themselves a 4th round on the board. Money is starting to become tight, which is probably why we're seeing NaVi backtracking a little here and going to try and hold on to their weapons.
Pimp is just running, but now they know Edward's going to be able to hold this long line. It's going to be very difficult for Pimpy if he decides to push into B apartments. Team Dignitas, however, I mean, it's kind of that situation where actually you should be able to go out and hunt. You should be willing to throw away some guns right now to go and root these guns out of NaVi's hands, because you still have enough money after this round win to go for a full buy in the next one. So a little bit disappointed that Dignitas aren't hunting a little bit more effectively for these guns, but at the end of the day, I think it's just like get the rounds, keep the gear, have everything we need going into the next one, and now we start fresh. The last round of the first half.
Yeah, I think it was just because, I mean, literally, they didn't lose a single man going in there, Dignitas. They had full coverage this time. So, final round of the half. NaVi already picked up 10. Can they make it 11-4? It'd be a nice CT side score from the Dignitas, though. Going for a little split push here, a 3-2. And they're going to be selling the fake smokes because we can see the bomb is actually moving in a different direction.
And they did this, was this used before? I think this was actually VP who were using the same, like, identical strat earlier. And yeah, there you have it. So you're going to have the smokes, basically flashes, just trying to chuck as many nades as possible to make it a bit more difficult for NaVi to count how many people might be back there. And then the rotation comes through.
Well, they're not rotating. It's Edwards actually. Is he going underpass? He is. He's going underpass. So he's actually going to come around behind them. Seized is going to flash them off. He's going to try and hold the position, keep them at bay, slow them down. Dignitas all pushing through. That's the bomb carrier already down. So the information's gathered. They don't need anyone else. Seized just cleans up. It's 11-4 for NaVi.
Yeah. Everybody able to step up, it seems, on NaVi's side right now. I mean, Zeus clearly leading the charge at the end of the first half, but Edward, Guardian, Seized, everybody having big plays, although it really was Edward and Guardian and Zeus who were doing the majority of the work, it seems, just completely topping out with the frags, but well done there by Seized. I mean, that's how you play that position, textbook. You hold that angle, you make it such a very difficult headshot where it's just like you can only get headshots. And with the M4A1 and his spray control, he just does a magnificent job. Now we get to see exactly what NaVi are going to throw at us here, and it is not going to be anything too crazy. Oh, I love this, actually. They've got 2 tanks going into this right now. They're going for a bit of the RPK mode. Edward and Seized have both been dropped Tech 9s by Flamey and Guardian, who have just gone for, no, pardon me, by Zeus and Guardian, who have gone for smokes. So this is all about just having the maximum amount of damage and resilience as possible here in this pistol round for those 2 players.
Yeah, Flamey delaying them in Palace there. MSI and AZ back away from there. Flamey took just a little bit of damage, not a great deal. Well, that grenade does land on Zeus. Pimp holding short. He's got Seized. He's about to push up. He may actually catch the back of him. Yeah, he just catches a glimpse of him as he goes and connects.
Just spots that out. So now they know that somebody is up here, and they've already spotted out the guys pushing in from pit. They have 2 holding in CT right now. So we have to see if they're going to be able to get this plant down. He's just trying to apply the pressure, taking advantage of the fact that he's got the Kevlar. He doesn't know what aim punch is. Instead, he knows what headshots are. He's going to take out MSL, and Edward using his Tech 9 to clean up as well. Nico and Kjorby the last 2 alive here, but Kjorby does manage to hit the headshot on Seized. He could find a Tech 9 to work with here, and he is going to be the last man alive in a 1v3, taking the battle long range, and he runs. They both run out of bullets. So tense. Flavey will win the duel in the end. And that's pretty much lights out for Dignitas, but what a battle there from Kjorby.
The new young member of the team that has just joined them officially yesterday, I believe it was, Flamey, coming in, does manage to close out the round. 12-4, important T-side pistol. And that, of course, gives them the Galils not choosing to go too heavily into the SMGs, just Edward going for the MAC-10.
Kind of surprised about that, actually. I mean, it seems like now at least what you can do is really, you know, invest in 2 SMGs. You get like 2 MAC-10s and a couple of AKs, right? And you can even have somebody just rocking a Tech 9. And that feels like it's a good balanced mix of rifles and guns and still allows for a lot of mobility. So you can push very quickly onto a side if you want it. Dignitas for themselves, no surprise with what they're going for here. They realize they still have a little bit of a buffer, and they're really just going for a win round right now. They've skimped on helmet armor on 3 of them. They just need to maximize nades and get as much as they can to work with here. But Seized, he spotted him, and it's just pre-fire onto Nico. Nothing Nico can do.
Yeah, just want to caught a glimpse of the shoulder arm. Gets himself in position. So now they know there's one in connector, and that gives problems for A side. Already the rotation coming in. I can see that Kebu making his way around from B side. But AZ's got a lot of problems. MSL's with him in dark. They may be able to cut off Zeus, but when Seeds comes around, the rotation is there. It is strong, and they just pinch the move. Dignitas out and away from that A site. Not a lot Pimp can do about this one. The grenade actually is not going to quite land. And a quick headshot from Seized will make it 13-4 for NaVi.
And NaVi just looking like this is it. You know, they just punched in and they're looking for a short day at work right now. That's all that's happening right now. NaVi just looking dominable, just making the right calls. Now Dignitas are in a hard eco scenario. They have to just save every dime that they've got because they went for that force buy in the last round. Really, I mean, best case scenario was them actually winning that forced round because now they're going to have their backs to the wall. It'll be a 14-4. They need to run 12 rounds in a row versus one of the best, well, the best potentially Mirage team in the world. It's a tall order for any team. So, let's see here already. We actually have Kirby holding up close, and Seized is going to take him out, just annihilates him. Pimp gets cleaned up from short. That's Edward with the MAC-10, just running gun, takes him out. The bomb plant is going to happen very early on here. We do have a flank coming through from MSL, but Zeus is lurking to make sure that that is ineffective, and nobody getting anything done here for Dignitas. Hardly any damage dealt at all. It's all about just Nico now, who's just actually, you have NaVi who are just running around at this point. I would just love to see Edward hunting for it because his kills with the SMG, they're worth twice as much as with the rifle or pistol. So it'd be great for him to pick it up. But Guardian's going to deny him the pleasure. Like, stay down, Edward, stay broke.
Simple round. 14-4. NaVi looking solid once again on Mirage. Very much at home on this map. And I think it's starting to prove that maybe come upcoming tournaments or maybe upcoming match tomorrow, they should probably be taking Mirage away from NaVi. Certainly as a band. 24 frags for Zeus. Absolutely dominant stuff. And of course, the winner of this will be facing Envy. That'll be tomorrow, the semi-finals. So, a bit of a thankless task whoever would get through, because Envy are looking on fire in this tournament. But NaVi, so far, looking to make it the first map in their favor.
And this is the big buy round here for Dignitas, the crucial round we were talking about. Very light on the nades. They've chosen to go for M4s, so they don't have many flashes. They don't have many smokes to hold them off, but that doesn't seem to impact Flamey. He just steps forward and gets headshot nade combos all day long. Now he's got dominance on this A site. He spotted out Nico as well. Nico just walking in. Nico just walks into a very predictable shot, and Flamey just takes his face off, no problem at all. Doesn't even need to change his aim up. So Kirby and Pimp, the last two alive, they were on the other side of the sites, I mean the other side of the map, so there isn't a whole lot that they can really do. And Edward seems to be aware of this. He's already looking for that rotate. He's already looking to see if anybody's going to be moving on short or underpass. Like basically he's ears right now to see and give the information to his team. And since they hear nothing, NaVi might as well go out and hunt. They leave Seized behind. He'll be keeping eyes on it. Guardian as well. But then the rest of them should just be out looking to get these M4s off at Dignitas. Make the next round even easier.
Yeah, and this is going to be map point, and Dignitas are going to be broke, barring these two rifles they have in their hand. Pimp not going to land the shot on Seized. That's one down. And Kirby, the last man, they're rushing for him. They may actually get to him in time. They need to look. They can either go for the wallbang. They know where he is. They know where he's trying to hide. And actually cleverly... Oh, move back into... What? Oh,
so close. Look at him. Deep breath. Deep breath. I made it.
I knew what I was doing. I knew what I was doing. 11 hit points he went down to there with the wall banging, but he's the one man that holds onto that M4. It's going to be a max 7 for MSL. It's going to be a scout for Nico as well, and they'd absolutely have to land something. That's not what they needed. Kirby already tagged up as he jumped out the window.
And no flash, nothing to cover him, but MSL does take out Flamey in the meantime. And this is now looking like control from top mid, at least going NaVi's way, although AC still willing to contest that, even trying to find an edge to work through on the smoke. Zeus looking for the punish, and he's going to get it. Takes out MSL from Palace. The smoke goes down, but it's a second too late, and he even takes out AC, who challenges and who sticks around a second too long. Zeus is on fire this map. He is just out of control.
They are a team that is ticking right now. They are... Yes, well done, YNK. Maybe he's even listening to the POV stream. Who knows? He's getting the comms down on him. But, well, they are really performing admirably on here. NaVi, this is a NaVi with confidence. This is a NaVi we haven't seen for a very long time, honestly.
Yeah, to see them just this dominant, yeah, you're right. Really, this is like all hope now for the CIS region fans, fans of NaVi. This is looking fantastic. And it's like not even Flamey, Flamey who had a fantastic map earlier, great performances. It just seems like now they're just stepping up, but Nico, what a shot there. The headshot onto Zeus takes him out of play. Seized fairly low on HP, and he's stuck behind the boxes now. Nico going to hold these angles, but Seized doesn't even need the face. Seized doesn't need to do that. He can sit back and wait. Instead, he decides to challenge, and Nico does not miss that opportunity.
Well, Nico's been given the triple. Let's see if Edward, who has been playing brilliantly, gives this one up. And of course he doesn't. 16-4, first map to NaVi in dominant style. It seems that Mirage really is the home of Natas Vincer, and they are just dominant. Dignitas, what did they do? They lost this map yesterday. We were somewhat surprised in the veto process that Mirage was not removed. It will be Cobblestone, their own choice next, though. And they've got to just reset their minds and think, okay, we knew it was going to be tough. Cobble's our game.
You know, that's exactly what has to happen. They have to do what Navi did earlier, essentially, and be able to just reset. This wasn't our map. It's fine. Now the best of 3 starts. We're going to treat this like it's the first map going into it, and that's when they have to shine. Cobblestone also just seems to be a map that they, that they feel very comfortable on, despite the changes. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. It's just a mental game at this point. They know they're the underdogs. They know that they're the underdogs in practically every match they go into. So they have to be used to that now. Now it's just about focusing on what they worked on going into this tournament, because you know that they've done their homework after coming so close at Copenhagen Games last week. You know that they've gone over everything and that they're looking to have an impact. Beating Navi in this kind of shape, that would be, the sign to the world, like, hey, we are the second best team in Denmark, and we're coming for TSM soon, so look out.
Yeah, we'll see if it works out for them. Didn't quite work out earlier on. 3D Max taking down the Copenhagen Wolves on their home map of Cobblestone. We're going to be right back in a few moments, ladies and gentlemen. Map 1 is done and dusted. Cobblestone is coming up. It's NaVi versus Dignitas, 1-0 to NaVi.